Any risk events out there? Fed meeting, Eurozone problems festering, the economy is slightly recovering in China and other parts of the region. How is your portfolio strategy looking as we go into 2013?
Increasingly over the last 2-3 months, we've become more constructive on markets. The markets have climbed the wall of worries which were there. Thankfully, we've seen policymakers take pragmatic decisions, and all these tail risks, whether of Europe breakup or a hard landing in China, haven't really materialized. Data is responding to all these stimulus in terms of easy liquidity, and that's giving comfort to investors. So over the last 2 months, we've added to our exposure in consumer discretionary financials, and I must say we remain constructive of markets, though not outrightly bullish.
Why not outrightly bullish?
I think those structural headwinds or the structural issues still remain. I mean, we're going to see Eurozone going through its own deleveraging austerity program, and that is bound to have some impact on the export growth for the region. We saw in the Chinese export data, which came day before, it was slightly subdued. So clearly, US would also go through the deleveraging, and we're not really going to go back to strong growth rates for world. So it's going to be a muddle through scenario, but increasingly more constructive. I mean, 2013 hopefully should be more positive vis-a-vis 2012 in terms of the growth outlook.
What's the biggest risk event out there that's preventing you from being outrightly bullish?
I think clearly, if you see, each of these economies has their own structural adjustments which needs to be done. We talked about Eurozone, where you need to go through a period of austerity, you need to get the competitiveness back. Same with the US, though we are seeing positive data from consumer confidence, housing starts, but still it's got a long way to go. Coming to Asia, again, we've seen China, which needs to increase the consumption as a percentage of GDP. So the infra stimulus which we've seen over the years needs to be tempered down, and we would see more incidents of that in coming years. For India, again, the challenge is to maintain the fiscal deficit, control the current account deficit, while keep growing at about 5 to 6%.
In terms of asset allocation, is it really just equities we stick with, or do we protect ourselves by putting some in cash?
I think equities would be the preferred choice for 2013. People were a lot worried about tail risks arising in 2012, which has not really happened. And as we go forward, one gets more comfortable with the fact that policymakers are aware of these tail risks and would do their best to avoid them. So assuming that these risks do not come in 2013, I think increasingly we'll see people moving out of cash or low bond yields or debt to equity synthesis.